Years of preparation, diet, dedication, and it all boils down to this: a penalty, player against goalkeeper. Score and you're the hero, miss and you'll never be able to forget it. This week, we're looking into just how important penalties could be at the World Cup. Hello there and welcome to Football Now. The World Cup is not far away and the preparations continuing here in Qatar. On this week's show, we're looking at penalties, from player technique to goalkeeping antics. We want to know just why some nations have such a rich history of spot kicks and why some have floundered over the years. But before we do that, let's hear from a man that knows just what it's like to score one at a major international tournament.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. Any way you slice it, yes, you're in the game and competition and adrenaline is running and all that, but you are very aware that this is a big moment, not only for you and your team, but your country. But the relief after you score a goal in a World Cup, especially on a penalty, is huge. Of course, in a World Cup, there is just more at stake. And so when you take a club penalty, if you miss one, you might in 2 weeks get another one. In a World Cup, there's no second penalty coming, right? Unless you're a team that's just, you're playing a bad team and you're going to get 2 or 3 in a game. But you know that this is your one chance. And in the end, I played in 3 World Cups and that was the one penalty kick we had.
Well, here in Qatar, the country is just about all set for kick-off. The last World Cup saw 29 penalties in play and 4 shootouts. Neither of those tallies had been beaten before. And of course, that was largely down to the new implementation of VAR. And with the technology 4 years older, what could we expect this time around?
I can see more penalties being awarded. And that's because I think that those VAR operators that have been selected for the World Cup will be trained very efficiently by FIFA. Pierluigi Collina, head of referees, is around that process. And so I think that generally we will get a greater level of consistency. It's that extra pair of eyes or more that says that is a foul, ref. You've missed it, now have another look. And penalty kicks awarded.
Great stuff indeed. Now we're at the Al Janoub Stadium in the coastal city of Al Wakra, and no doubt there'll be a few penalties scored on that pitch behind me in 3 months' time. So with that in mind, let's have a look at 5 of the biggest moments in World Cup penalty history. Italy at home to Argentina, 1 game away from the World Cup final. Only Napoli player Diego Maradona could have suggested in the run-up to the game in Naples that the fans in the stadium should support Argentina. The match went to a penalty shootout. Diego rolled the ball into the net from his spot kick. Aldo Serena then missed and Italy's World Cup dream was over, and the host nation never really forgave Maradona for his role in it. 4 years later, there was more penalty pain for the Italians. Another iconic number 10 stepped up in another penalty shootout. But Roberto Baggio skied his effort and Brazil were champions of the world. 2002 was a tale of redemption for David Beckham. In 1998, his World Cup ended with a red card for kicking out at Argentina's Diego Simeone. England went on to lose the resulting penalty shootout. And 4 years later, the same teams met in Japan. Michael Owen won the penalty and stepped up David Beckham. He scored and England claimed a famous victory as Becks went from 0 to hero from 12 yards. In 2010 in South Africa, Luis Suarez denied a goal-bound header in the last minute of an extra-time match against Ghana. He saw red and Ghana had the chance to win it from 12 yards. Asamoah Gyan couldn't take it. Uruguay ruthlessly capitalised by coming out on top in the penalty shootout. And in 2014, Louis van Gaal made the bold move of replacing goalkeeper Jasper Sillitzen in the last minute of extra time for the Netherlands against Costa Rica. On came Tim Krul for the shootout, and 2 saves later he was the match-winning hero in Brazil. Now, for those nations coming to Qatar in November, the team to avoid when it comes to penalties is without a doubt Germany. Die Mannschaft have won all their shootouts in World Cup history. And on the flip side, England have lost on 3 occasions, although they did put some demons to bed when they beat Colombia back in Russia in 2018. Normal service, though, was resumed when they lost to Italy in the final of the Euros last summer. So what makes one team so good and one team so poor?
Most important, it's the experience. They always think about the past and they know, okay, we have been good in tournaments about penalty shootouts. Let's remember Jens Lehmann, very famous with a paper in his shoes where he checked where the players will put their penalty. And I think this experience, it makes you strong. You know, okay, we did it, we will do it again. and of course they are practicing penalties, and of course there's a little bit of luck, like always.
And you think back to the Euros final and that pressure that was on the team to bring it home, as they keep on saying in England. I think that was a huge pressure on the players, and something that you can't really practice. I think it's just pressure. To replicate the pressure situation of doing it in training and then in front of fans is very difficult.
The standards of penalties seems to have gone up a lot, with takers being a lot better and better prepared. So I wouldn't be surprised if Germany's record doesn't stand the test of time forever. I think they're bound to lose one eventually.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's show from the Al Janoub Stadium here in Qatar. Do let us know your thoughts at home using the hashtag FootballNowPenalties, and we'll see you soon for more Football Now.